All right, welcome back to Insight to Sports here on ICN2. Caged Inferno 6, the mixed martial arts, the American Fight League is coming to Rupp Arena on April 28th. Huge event. Going to be a lot of good fighters involved, and now we're going to talk to a guy who's had one match, but got involved late in life. Well, I shouldn't say late in life. You're still a young fella. Prime, in the prime of your life. This is Jon Hatton, the president of the American Fight League, and you're pretty much the organizer too, but you still have time to get in shape and train and all that stuff, huh?
Well, you got to work with everybody, and I enjoy being with the fighters, understanding what the fighters have to go through, and that's why I decided to get in the cage when I was 49 years old, because a lot of people say, you know, you get a little wiser as you get old.
Is that right?
A lot of people after that said, I think you're not getting as wise as you get old. You're slipping a little bit. But I enjoyed it, and I just, you know, I get these young people to get in the cage and they fight. You know, it's a good sport. So I feel from my standpoint, I want to see what it's like to go through. I want to be in there when the door closes. Once it closes, you're there. You got to perform. You know, so all the months, years of training, that all comes into play at that time. You do the best you can, and win or lose. You know, then you go back and start over again, you know, for your next bout.
And so your first cage fight was at age 49, and you're 1-0. You're undefeated.
1-0. Yeah, I had to go. They all told me I had to go before I turned 50. So.
Now you've also started just a few years ago in the mixed martial arts, right? Why'd you just all of a sudden decide that you weren't going to play golf, you were going to do this?
I had a bunch of friends that were taking a mixed martial arts class in Lexington, Kentucky, and one night they drugged me to it 5 years ago. I fell in love with it and been doing it ever since. I realized my first night of that how bad a shape I had gotten myself into, and so just hung with it. And you know, it took a good year when I finally was able to kind of hang with these young guys that you've seen. You know, so it's been fun. It's been a healthy experience for me, and I've learned a lot about conditioning, physical fitness. Everything that goes into what you see these guys here, what they do every day, you know, sometimes 7 days a week to train and be able to do our sport.
That's what I think, you know, people hear cage, like I talked to Rock and Ron in the first segment, people hear cage fights and they automatically think it's, you know, some big bar brawl.
Tough man deal, and it's not that at all. I guess being a little bit older, I enjoy this sport because to me, it's 60% mental, 40% physical. A guy that's smart, a guy that knows what he's doing, plays the chess game like they talked about. When the time's right, he takes advantage and he wins. And that is really neat. And it's been really fun for the past year to educate fans that have come to our show. And I'll see the same people over and over at Louisville. You know, we just had our 5th show there in last month. And now some of the fans have got to know me. Before, nobody knew what was going on. You know, guys would go to the ground, people would boo. Well, they're not punching each other. But now, after 5 shows, I actually have people come up. Can you believe that arm lock? Can you believe that triangle? So the fans are educating themselves to what these guys do, and they're starting to learn. You know, so it's been a learning process for everybody, and educating the public to the kind of sport we have here. And it's growing. It's overtaken boxing, and it's you know, become a real special thing right now at this time.
There are organizations, I guess, and these kind of things nationally and internationally then that people are involved in.
That is correct. That is correct. Europe, North America, all through the States. There was one event just in Columbus, Ohio last weekend. Over 19,000 tickets were sold. So it's becoming a real hotbed, and I think the Louisville metro area, east of the Mississippi, is a real hotbed for MMA fans. So we've enjoyed it, and that's why we're going to try Rupp Arena April 28th. It'll be the biggest show in the state ever, the biggest venue, of course, and I think we'll do well. We've had a lot of interest. A lot of tickets have been sold. Everybody's excited about our title fights. So it's just a work in progress every day.
That's Caged Inferno 6 at Rupp Arena on April 28th. Now, you can see these guys at Louisville Gardens again on June 16th, so it'll be one of the thousands of people that file into the Gardens to see the American Fight League. You talked about seeing all the fighters, knowing what they're going through, and I guess too then you see different personalities from fighter to fighter, right?
I think you saw some of that earlier today.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, we've got all kinds, so that's what makes it interesting. You know, we've got the ones that are flamboyant, the ones that are dead serious, but I mean, it's just a different mix of different people, and that's what makes it fun to watch. And a lot of guys don't say a word; they go out and do their thing. And other guys, you know, they'll showboat it up. That gets the crowd excited. People like to see it. And you know, it's a sport, and you've got to generate excitement with that sport, and that's what we're striving real hard to do. It's a production, it's a show, but you know, it is a sport. It's not a knockdown, drag-out bar fight.
Well, you alluded to the fact of being smart and that it's 60% mental, 40% physical. But
that's my take, because I'm not as good a shape as the other guys.
But to be smart also means you're smart enough to take care of the physical part of it, right?
That's correct. That's correct. You better, because once you're in there, it's there unless you tap or you submit. You know, you can always stop if you want. You know, you can always tap and to avoid injury. That happens a lot. That's why MMA is so much safer than boxing. We've never had a death in MMA. People are scared of the cage. The cage keeps you in. The cage keeps you contained. If you're in a boxing ring, you'll go through those ropes. You see it all the time. So the cage is an allure of danger, I think, but it's the safest way to conduct our fights. And then we've got good referees. I keep 3 fight doctors with the Kentucky Athletic Commission or at every one of our fights. So everything's well controlled.
Right.
It's controlled mayhem,
okay.
I guess is a good way to say it. And we really work on, you know, trying to keep it safe for everybody involved.
How big, Caged Inferno 6 at Rupp Arena on April 28th, I would guess that these guys look forward to every match they're in, but is this kind of the icing on the cake?
This has raised the bar. This is our step. We've been working with this stuff for now about 2 years. Rupp Arena will be our step to the next level. I've already got some calls from national people wanting to get involved in our show because Rupp Arena, just by the choice of venue, brings those kind of people. We've had Hooters become a sponsor of us. They're our major sponsor for the year, and they said they're going to be with us for the long run now, so they do a lot of support. We advertise in all their restaurants. We get the Hooter girls to come. They're our ring girls. So through these national companies, American Fight League, Adrenaline Fight Club, we got a lot of folks now that are jumping on board with us and helping us make the show bigger and better.
Awesome.
You know, our production grows every time we do one.
Good deal. Jon Hatton, appreciate it. Good luck with it. Good luck with Caged Inferno 6, and I look forward to seeing it at Rupp Arena. All right. We'll be right back to wrap things up here on Insight to Sports on ICN2.